Planet of the Fakes, and Pigstar HH News. Birmingham curfew order, here's what it means. Updated June 1, 2020, posted June 1, 2020. Birmingham protests and riots. Protests turned violent overnight after demonstrations in Birmingham, Alabama, in the wake of the death of Minnesotan George Floyd. He died when a police officer restrained him face down with a noose on his neck for almost 9 minutes. The events May 31 to June 1, 2020, in Birmingham prompted the city to enact an overnight curfew indefinitely. The city's mayor also promised arrests if unrest continues. Demonstrators tried to bring a Confederate memorial statue down in Lynn Park and then did damage to businesses near the downtown park. There were more than 24 fires reported. Des Wilson, Wilson@al.com. Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin declared a state of emergency Monday and established an indefinite 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew effective immediately after damage to several downtown businesses and 2 reporters were attacked Sunday night. No one deserved what happened last night in this city we call home, Birmingham, Woodfin said. Birmingham, this is not us. This is not who we are. This is not how we taught the world how to protest. 13 businesses were damaged, 14 businesses were burglarized and 24 people were arrested, according to Birmingham Police Chief Patrick Smith, after protests turned violent Sunday night. Woodfin said there wouldn't be any second chances going forward, enacting the curfew which will indefinitely outlaw any similar protests after 7 p.m. going forward. Cities around Birmingham enact similar curfews. Woodfin also vowed that anyone violating the curfew order will be arrested. We're not playing, Woodfin said. We're going to enforce the law. What does the Birmingham curfew actually mean for you? Here's a quick explanation. Birmingham riots. Birmingham declares state of emergency, pledges to remove Confederate monument. What does a curfew entail? It means from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m., starting today, June 1, no one should be out in Birmingham unless there is an exception. We'll get to those. That means no public gatherings, no casually driving through Birmingham's downtown, no hanging out at the park, etc. There is no scheduled end for the curfew. Who does this apply to? Everyone within the city limits of Birmingham. Anyone traveling upon any public street, alley or roadway, or any other public property. What constitutes the city limits? Check out maps of Birmingham's city boundaries here. You are allowed to drive through the city of Birmingham if you are coming from a location outside the city to go to a different location outside the city. What are the possible ramifications of violating curfew? As Mayor Woodfin said, Birmingham police will arrest violators. According to Birmingham City Code, a violation of a municipal ordinance like a curfew comes with up to 180 days in jail and a $500 fine. What if I have to work after the curfew starts? You will need to have identification and a letter from your employer on the company letterhead stating that you are working during the curfew. There are also exceptions for multiple groups including journalists, city law enforcement figures, medical personnel, public utility workers and military personnel. Can I go to a restaurant after curfew? One exception in the order allows for people seeking medical assistance, food or other service necessary to well-being for themselves or their families. However, the city is strongly advising businesses including restaurants to close at 7 p.m. Can I go shopping after curfew? It depends on what you are shopping for. There can be exceptions. A grocery store like Publix, for instance, would qualify under seeking food, but the same wouldn't apply to a clothing store. The city of Birmingham won't force those non-essential businesses to close, but individuals could still be guilty of violating the curfew if they are out shopping at 1 after 7 p.m. A representative for the summit, which includes more than 10 restaurants and numerous retail shops, said it will be closing at 7 p.m. in accordance with the city ordinance. Birmingham also will be blocking off a section of downtown during the curfew periods. See the map below. Go to www.amor-ica.com. We are the new umbrella. Share on Facebook. Share on Twitter. Share